Big Ten schedules are out. Let's break them down right here at the Voice of College Football. Appreciate you stopping by for the best in discussion, debate, and analysis. Illinois coming off a surprising and impressive 9-3 finish in the regular season in 2024, 6-3 in the Big Ten. Let's look at the schedule for 2025, break it down in regards to making the comparisons between 25 and 2024. Coming up on August 30th, it's Western Illinois, a team that Indiana defeated 77-3. Looking at Illinois' performance against FCS teams, 15-0 since the year 2000. A ton of those games, as you might imagine, against Eastern Illinois, Western Illinois, Southern Illinois, and Illinois State. They defeated Western Illinois 44-0 in 2015 and 34-14 in their most recent meeting in 2018. Then Illinois takes on Duke on the road. Now, Duke has had some kind of strange setup with Northwestern where they've played the Wildcats almost every year for the past 10 or 12 years. They have won 6 straight against Northwestern dating back to 2016. Illinois and Duke have played 2 games in the series in 1958 and 1965. They have split those 2 games. Illinois is just 4-8 against non-conference Power 5 opponents since 2010, but they did pull off an upset. It was an upset at the time against Kansas in week 2 at home after losing to the Jayhawks the previous season. Western Michigan is the opponent out of the MAC on September 13th. Illinois' last game against Western Michigan back in 2016 was a loss. They also lost to Eastern Michigan in 2019. Those are the 2 losses against the MAC since 2010. Illinois 9-2 against that conference going back to 2010. Now it's the Big Ten. And a date at Indiana. We know about the Hoosiers' renaissance under Curt Cignetti. USC on the 27th, at Purdue on October 4th, before Ohio State, and a bye week. Then a 2-game stretch before another bye week as the Illini go to Washington and take on Rutgers. Then the closing stretch is Maryland at Wisconsin, and then, of course, the rivalry game against Northwestern. When we look at Illinois in 2024, in regards to a Big Ten schedule versus 2025, this is what we see. They are playing 4 of the same opponents, and that's the weekend of the schedule. Purdue, Minnesota, Rutgers, and Northwestern. Minnesota was the one team over 500 in the Big Ten this year. Combined out of those 4 opponents in the Big Ten, 11-25. So that means there are 5 different opponents for Illinois in 2025. They would be Ohio State, Indiana, Washington, USC, and Wisconsin. Those 5 opponents displace these 5 in 2024 in order of quality. Oregon, of course, and Penn State, Big Ten championship game participants. Then you got Nebraska and Michigan. You've got Michigan State as well. Those 5 teams went 28-8 versus the 26-10 that the 5 teams replacing those 5 posted in 2024. Not a big change there in regards to what is the expected performance of these teams, but we've seen it from year to year. So many teams, including 7 in the Big Ten out of 18 teams in 2024, had an increase of at least 3 wins or a decrease of at least 3 wins from 2023. Illinois' first 2 Big Ten opponents in 2025, Indiana and USC, have to be considered huge wild cards. We know what the Hoosiers did. Will they be able to back it up against a more difficult Big Ten schedule? For USC, they certainly disappointed this past season, and now it's 2 down years in a row under Lincoln Riley. Illinois is picking up Ohio State, but they're trading in many more top-tier teams in Oregon. No Penn State, no Michigan, which should be improved again this year. And then talking about Nebraska, Dylan Raiola's second season, Illinois will not have to face the Huskers in 2025. Consider it a slightly easier Big Ten schedule for the Illini. And again, the non-conference game with a interesting trip to Duke. How about the bowl game coming up? Big Ten and the SEC get together. Illinois and South Carolina. We've not seen that matchup in the past. Give us your comments, your thoughts, your questions about Illinois football right here at the Voice of College Football.